Hello, happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to the Abomination Goddess podcast. Today with me, I have Casie Halseth.
Hi.
Casie is an imaginative and introspective author of Abomination Born, a portal fantasy that brings mystical realms to life. She is an award-winning public speaker, and I think that you'll find by watching this podcast and reading her books that she effortlessly draws her audience into both her world and her book and on stage. She is deeply passionate about creating welcoming spaces for those who feel like they don't quite fit the mold, cherished by loved ones, yet often misunderstood. Rooted in the old ways of her matriarchal Hungarian Norwegian heritage, Casie invites us to explore a world where the mystical meets the personal and where extraordinary feels just within reach. And that is exactly why I love meeting with her every Wednesday. I learn so much, and she's just a lot of fun to be around as well. So, welcome.
Thank you.
Yay. And I am Ashley Kim. I am the author of an upcoming nonfiction book titled Villain Era Goddess. I keep saying it's going to be out this week. I think it really will be out next week, though. I wrote the book, yes, finally. I wrote this book to help women on their journey to set boundaries, build confidence, and heal themselves. It is a very honest and open look at what I went through and the tools that I used to survive my villain era. I am the founder of a digital marketing agency, and I use my experience to guide female entrepreneurs to strengthen their confidence and build an online presence. I also work with authors as well. I love working with women and love having conversations just like the ones that Casie and I have each week on the podcast. So, welcome everybody. Yay.
Yeah.
Okay, so how are you feeling after the full moon yesterday, the wolf moon?
Well, that one was an unusual one because it passed right in front of Mars.
Hmm.
And so
Yes.
yesterday at the no, that was Monday. Yeah, Monday evening, you could look up at the moon in the east and see Mars behind it. You could see it as the moon was passing over it. And then in the morning, I caught it at about 5:40 in the morning, something like that, where Mars was just about to go behind it, and it was a little bit off, but it was better in the evening, but I couldn't see it because we have a hill behind our house. But in the morning, you could see it, and it's
Yay.
just so exciting to see that.
Yeah,
And
it is
remember,
so cool.
January 26th, all the planets will be, not all of them, but we'll have like a necklace. All the planets will be in like a
Yeah.
beautiful string necklace going across the sky.
Yep. I'm excited for that. I love it. Yeah, I had to drive to my daughter's basketball game, which was really far away. And in the evening, the moon was gorgeous and I could see Mars right next to it
Yes.
and oh, I was so excited to look because we were going to be done with the game around 8. So I was like, okay, cannot wait to come back out. We had cloud cover everywhere. We couldn't see anything after that. So I just had to feel the energy without getting to see the beauty. But when I did get to see it, oh, it was gorgeous. I couldn't take my eyes off of it. It was so pretty and so close.
And this is the time of the month where the energy is coming down from the moon and coming down into the roots. And so remember in the planting season, you plant the root vegetables during the full moon. So that would be
Mhm.
like your carrots and your potatoes. And during the new moon is when you would want to plant the leafy vegetables where the energy is at the top. And
Mhm.
so since it's coming down to us, it almost can feel like an overwhelm when you have the moon energy coming down. And so that's why I wear my moonstone. I've got a moonstone earring, a ring on, and my earrings and my necklace. Oh yeah, I've got it all. I'm covered.
Yeah, definitely. I have some moonstone. I need to get that out. I didn't even think about that. That's an excellent idea. Yes, because
Oh
it's a lot of energy.
yes, it's a lot of energy, and it'll last for days. Especially this one.
Hmm.
And I get if you've had an old energy injuries, I've had injuries to my neck 'cause I have a really long neck. It's really easy to get my neck whipped around. And so my neck will start to hurt, and it's like, oh, it must be full moon, and sure enough, or it's close to full moon.
Yeah. Oh, that's so interesting. I didn't, yeah. I mean, I've heard of like um women having their babies because of the full moon and things like that, but I didn't realize how much more it can affect our bodies too.
It moves the fluid around in the body. It
Mhm.
just it moves it around. And so
Right.
you'd be real happy with it in one spot on you, your fluids, excess fluids. You got used to maybe swollen wrists or swollen ankles. And then during the full moon time, it'll move and it can go to someplace else. And like for me, it'll go to my neck.
Yeah. Oh, that's so interesting. So that is something that everyone can pay attention to. Pay attention to your body with each of the moon phases and write it down
Yeah.
in your journal. Because yeah, after a while you're going to see what your pattern is, which is so interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah, I love that. That is so cool. Okay, let's get into our cards, tarot and oracle cards. I'm going to share my screen. My favorite part. I don't know why. This is just always my favorite part.
We're being communicated from the other realms.
Yes.
They're guiding us.
Yeah, they are. Okay. Do we want to start with this one?
Oh yeah, that's the um Crystal Magic Tarot, and that's where I pulled this card from.
Okay, let me get the card. Oh, make that bigger. There we go.
And this is the Emperor, and
Hmm.
the stone that goes with this one, since this is a crystal tarot, this is lapis lazuli, the stone that goes with it. But now remember that the way I look at the tarot, of course, I do read everybody else's ideas on how the tarot works, but for me, whenever I see a number in front of the major arcana, then I put that number to the months in the year. Um,
Hmm.
so this is the fourth, and so that would be sometime in April. So before I pulled this card, I was wondering about, I have several metaphysical events to go to coming up this year, and I was wondering if there's anything I need to know for these events that are coming up. And so when I pulled this up, it was very appropriate because the emperor, he represents, and he represents uh, the fact that he's a leader. He's a leader of a country or of his world. And when you are in a leader position, you have responsibilities. And the responsibilities are to even take care of the little people, make sure that everything is right for everyone and do things so that you're not leading people astray or anything like that. And I thought that was a very good reminder.
Yeah, I agree.
Because, we're in a position of power when we talk about our experiences, and um, we need to realize that, uh, especially me, that whatever I say has to be authentic and true.
Mm.
I have had to live this. And
Yeah,
so the emperor reminds me of that.
I love that.
Yeah, yeah, it
Do
was a
you,
very nice reminder for me.
yeah, that sounds like it was.
Hmm.
Definitely. Do you feel like you have a harder time with authenticity just based on who you're around? Is that what it is? Like you want to protect yourself or?
Well, everything about me is kind of on the different side, and it always has been. And every once in a while, I get a twinge to try to fit in.
Yep,
And,
yep.
it, and so this really truly reminds me, I'll never fit in. It'll be okay.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
going to be okay to be who I really am. It'll be okay.
yes. I, yeah, I love that. That is so appropriate. And yeah, I do the same thing where I think maybe if I just fit in more, maybe if I just tried harder. But then I don't know, there's something about trying to fit in that kind of kills you a little bit on the inside.
Yes, yes.
Oh, oh, this is the oh, I
That's
can't
just the
make it.
page that talks about it. Yeah,
Okay. I say I don't, it's not letting me make it bigger.
that's
Um,
okay. Yeah.
all right. And so then what is this
That's
one?
that's the backside of all of her cards. in
Oh,
this
that's
tarot deck.
gorgeous.
Isn't it nice? Isn't it
Yes. Oh, I
nice?
love that.
And taking all the phases of the moon, and with the crystal, it's pointing down at her because, she's holding her hands up. And so
Mhm.
that it's pulling it all into herself. I just love that.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels good to look at that.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Hmm. Then we have,
Actually, this is the backside of my stone, and my stone is azurite or lapis.
uh-huh. Oh, do you want me to pull up the other, here, this one first?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Uh,
Wow.
it and lapis has got there's yellow in it, and that's pyrite in there, and on that backside you could see some green through it. It's
Mhm.
malachite. And these are the stones that are found, like if you're in southern Arizona, lots
Hmm.
of other places in the country where you find the gold mines and the copper mines and the silver mines, you'll find these stones with them. You'll find azurite, malachite, which is the green, lapis, all these stones with pyrite, with those metals.
Hmm.
And these stones, or especially this one, helps so that okay, that's why it's appropriate that it is with the Emperor's stone, is because this stone keeps what my self-talk to myself keeps that true also.
Oh, oh, I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay. Yep. This is one of my mom's favorite stones too.
Is it really? Wow.
Hmm. Yeah. I like the way she says it too. I couldn't even say it like how she says it, but just how she says the word. It's like she just says it with so much love. And
Yeah.
this is the backside of it.
Mm-hmm. And the green there is the malachite, and
Yep.
then those are the druzy stones with it, which will include pyrite, which kind of is fool's gold. And you never know, there might even be some gold if you crush this out. There might be one um, molecule of gold or something.
Yeah. Oh, this is just a gorgeous stone.
Hmm.
So pretty. Oh, I love that. I didn't at first notice that I had a wolf theme until I was getting ready to upload or I was texting you my photos. But first I wanted to show off. I am always obsessed with my herbs and my herb garden. And these are my bundles that I put together. So what I do in the fall is I harvest my sage, but then I always also harvest, I'm a hard time speaking today, any herbs that are left that I know are, if it's a plant that just completely dies, then I will just harvest the rest of it and I just bundle it with my sage and just it just adds an extra different scent. And so I have fennel, I have thyme, I have rosemary, I have all kinds of things that I put with my sage bundles. So these are just a couple of them. I am excited to my lavender plants. I did not touch them this year because they just look like they weren't happy. So I'm excited to harvest them next year because I do like bundling lavender and sage together. I think it smells wonderful. And
And it in the old days, they used to take a bundle like that of lavender and they would place it by their windowsills, and it
yeah.
keeps critters out. A lot of critters don't like them.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like
So,
scorpions for sure don't like it.
oh, really? Okay. That's
Yeah.
good to know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. There are so many uses for herbs, dried, fresh, all of it. And I don't know, it's one of my passions. I just love it. So I had to show off my bundles because I was getting a new one this morning. I've been burning them. Um, I mean, I do every once in a while, but since we've been sick lately in our house, I've been trying to burn at least once a day because I have noticed that um, we heal faster. So I think I read that it kills bacteria and viruses in the air that sage does. So it's kind of, clears energy, it clears the air, it clears all kinds of things. So we have been using them a lot.
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay, so I was also going to share, I'm back to, you can tell this book is very well loved. I've had this book for probably 10 years. But I'm back to going through it again. I haven't read it cover to cover. I usually just kind of jump in wherever. Um, and I jumped in today on this chapter, and this first sentence, if you don't go out in the woods, nothing will ever happen and your life will never begin, spoke to me a lot.
Mhm.
And so
That's very
it,
nice.
yes, and it is a really good story. They take snippets of now I need to see what who the author was, but it's a snippet of another story that they tell in here. It's a wonderful story. The Wolf's Eyelash. It's a poem by C.P. Estes, copyright 1970. So it's a really cool story. And the gist of it is a lady has everyone telling her, don't go out in the woods, don't do this, basically stay home, just stay home, be quiet, be safe, all the things. And she goes out in the woods anyway, and she comes across a wolf, and he has his paw trapped in a trap. And everyone tells her that if she lets him out, he's gonna kill her. But she decides to let him out anyway and fixes his paw, wraps it up, and then she says, okay, get it over with. Just kill me now. Like, just get it over with. And he says, no, I'm not going to kill you, but I'm going to give you the question that you should, the one question you should always ask people, which ends up being, what's in your soul? And so, anyway, as a gift for saving him, the wolf gives her one of his eyelashes so she can look through it and see people for who they really are. And so, as people are saying, stay home so I can protect you, she can look through the eyelash and say, oh no, that's just selfishness on their part. They can't protect me. Or, and not just bad things too. She sees the good in people where if someone's extra sassy, she can look through the eyelash and say, oh, that's just they have a fiery personality, but they have a beautiful soul. And it's a good story. I loved it. And I loved the messaging behind it. So I
Oh,
wanted to
yeah,
share
that's
that.
wonderful.
Yeah. And then I was going through these oracle cards because I had pulled one for the day. And then I thought, well, I want to go through and see if there are any that has a wolf on them. And I did find this one, which I
Hmm.
thought was perfect. So you can see their little faces
Hmm.
here. But keepers of the earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you, which was also perfect because I was working on a
Oh,
ritual
wolf
or like a
moon.
meditation. And it
Yes.
was for the wolf moon, but it was for howling at the moon and connecting with ancestors. So it all kind of, I love it when, everything just comes together. And I'll put this out in the email so that people can do it if they want. But um, I have been fascinated. There's a group of women in the United States, and I forgot exactly what it's called, but it's a group of ladies that for every full moon, they all go outside and howl at the moon. And I love it. So one of my friends, she's the one that told me about it. And when she first started, she lived in town and she said that she could hear women howling at the moon and she had no idea who they were. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, other people are doing it too." So I just thought that was so cool. And then we went it was very cold. It was a couple months ago. We went to a lake beside us because there was a full moon, and we took our 5-year-old, and the first thing she did was start howling at it. And we joined in. And there's something about it that I don't know, it kind of makes you just stop and think about like an ancient power in you.
It is. It
Yeah.
is.
So I'll put those in there. But yeah, I just loved how everything kind of just came together. And then another card that this is the original card that I pulled from that Oracle deck, and it completely called me out, as they do. But it said, you're already doing it. Stop overthinking and keep facing your true north, which was the reminder I needed. I love to overthink things and stay in my own brain instead of getting outside of myself and actually doing the scary first couple steps. So this was my reminder that I need to do it. I love that deck. Um,
Yeah, it's beautiful.
yeah, I love all the colors. They do have a tower card. I noticed that, so you can kind of see the similarities in the artwork. It's like a very soft pastel.
Hmm.
But they have a tower card that is like dark and bright and gleaming. It's completely opposite to every single card in that deck. Um, Kind of freaks me out every time I see it. Like, it's a powerful card.
Well, the tower, is when things get shook up and things change.
Yeah, and you can feel it. I wonder if I can quickly find it. You can feel it when you see this card. It is like, how did this even get in this deck? But yeah,
And then,
that's
of course, if it's dark, then it's talking about protection. And so you're
hmm
being shook up, being struck by lightning, and all the icky things are coming out.
yes,
Remember I
that's so
told you how
funny.
stones, when they break? Yeah,
Struck by
yes.
lightning. I don't know if you can, but you can see the
Hmm.
lightning in there too.
Yes, yes.
I'm sorry, when the stones when they break.
They're helping you out.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah, they're helping you out.
Yes, which always makes me feel better.
You made
To
me
know
think
that.
earlier when you were talking about howling at the moon. We used to have a wolf, and yeah, he would of course howl at the moon, and we would howl with him, and you could feel the frequency. He was a big one, he was half timber, half tundra, so
Oh,
he was
wow.
one of the big wolves with the tall legs,
Hmm.
and his face was the size of a calf, a big,
Oh my gosh.
a
That
small
is
calf.
humongous.
I know. When he got in your lap, I mean, you were completely covered by
Right,
this big
right.
animal. Uh, but when he would howl, the vibration that came out of him was just like magic. And it would just go right
Mhm.
through the body. And if you had water nearby, you could see the ripples on the water glasses.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it was, yeah. And
That would
he
be neat
had
to
such a
experience.
seriousness. He was so serious about his howling. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
connecting. He was
Yeah.
connecting.
It's a big job to do.
Hmm.
The first time I ever heard a large animal, well, I guess it wouldn't be a howl, it would be a roar, but I was at a zoo and the lion just went
Yes.
crazy and he roared.
Yes.
And like you said, it was a full body experience.
Hmm.
And I had never witnessed anything like that before. Like obviously I have dogs and cats, all the things, but this was a true predator roaring. And
Yes.
there is, I mean, my body was like, rah, like even though he was in a cage. But yeah, that was the first time I've experienced an animal doing something that does like just, I mean, it takes over your body,
Hmm.
that vibration or whatever it is. So that
And
would be,
stones do the same thing.
mhm,
So every stone, of course, is a vibration, a different vibration.
yeah,
And so it's as opposed to when Wolfie would howl, we could hear it and we could feel it,
mhm,
because it was, at a frequency that we can hear and we could feel. Well, stones do the same thing. They're out there howling at the moon too. And
yeah,
some of us can feel the stones, and some
mhm,
of us can hear the stones, and some of
yeah,
us can know what they're saying,
yeah,
and really it's the same thing, and you get that feeling, and if you get that feeling and don't know where it's coming from, it's probably from nature. It's either from the
yeah,
trees out there, or it's from the ground.
hmm
Something out there is vibrating their joy. Wake
hmm
up, world, wake up.
yeah, pick up. Yes. I love that. And I don't know, I like those kind of reminders that humans aren't it. There's so much more out there,
Yes, that's
Like,
right.
and I like that reminder because humans let me down. I let myself down. But nature is just there and it's vibrating and pulsing and has the messages and I need that reminder and I love that reminder. Um, when I walk into shops that have a lot of stones, like the gemstones and things like that, it is physically overwhelming for me. I feel I can only describe it as like nauseous because there's just so much coming at me. I mean, it's like every stone under the sun, it feels like.
Yeah.
Um, but I enjoy it because to me that confirmation of, oh my gosh, they're all here. Like they're all
Yes,
here sending out their little things,
that's right.
and I get to
They're all
feel
saying,
that.
Ashley's here, Ashley's here. We're so
Yes.
excited. She
Like
came, she
me.
came.
Yeah, I love it. There was a store that was close to me, and I was so bummed when it did close down during the pandemic. But man, I loved that store. I loved walking in there and just getting that big wave of energy just right in your face every time. And I would just shop around forever just to stay in it,
Mhm.
stay in that
Yes.
energy.
I would recommend to any store that has rocks, lots of rocks, that they have plants at the entrance. So that when you
Mm,
walk in, you're thinking you're walking into a store for plants, and none of them can be for sale. Those plants aren't
yeah,
for sale. They're the ones who are the rocks are behind them in the in the regular part of the store. In the
right.
beginning is the plants, and you walk through the plant area, and the plants have told the rocks, okay, tone it down, that we'll let you know what's coming in here. Okay, she will hear it. No, she can't. No,
Yeah.
don't mess her up. The
Oh my
plants,
gosh, I
especially if you
love
get
that.
those great big leafy plants, we used to have them in
Hmm.
Florida when we lived out there, the big, huge, giant poinsettias with the
Yes.
giant leaves that would go all the way up the side of the house.
Yeah.
Things like that, that
Yeah.
that
I love
they'll
that.
calm down the communication with the stone. That's why in the woods, we live deep in the woods. There's a nice balance between the stone conversation and the trees conversation and all the
Yeah.
vegetation, because and the even the animals, because
Hmm.
one will kind of tone down the other one, say, oh no, leave her alone.
Yeah.
Or and moss, not moss, what is it, mold, or there's a fungus. That's what I'm trying to say, the fungus that goes
Okay.
underneath the ground that connects all
Yeah.
the root systems together.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're the ones who dictate everybody. Okay, don't do this now. She's coming this way. All right, you can ask your question first. Now you can do it.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. The director.
Yes, yes.
Oh, I love that. Yes, I love that. Speaking of moss though, I have been very into that. I've been growing it because some just popped up just in one of my flower pots, so I just saved it and just let it do its thing. And it's huge. And so I've been reading ways to blend it with dirt and um, buttermilk. And then you can spread it over stuff and then it grows all around it. So that is
Oh,
my
yes. Yeah, like a
2025.
topiary.
Yeah, that's my project this year. I'm going to go to the thrift store and find things that I can turn into statues that would be moss covered when I'm done with it, and then make my little blends. But I've been growing my own little moss so that I can make a this is the stuff I do.
That's really nice.
I'm
Yeah,
excited. And it doesn't die over the winter. It's bright green.
yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah, yeah.
So, and the other cool thing about it, and then I'll stop because I could talk forever about this. Um, I have two different pots and it's two different kinds of moss. One of them, and maybe all moss does this, but it grows under the dirt upside down and then it flips itself over.
Really?
Yeah. And
Wow.
so I just each day check on it to see like what process it's in, and eventually it's flipped over and it's just a little ball of moss sitting on the dirt. So
Wow.
yeah, it is so
I know
cool.
plants are fascinating. They're just fascinating.
They are. They are. I love them. Yeah, I cannot wait to get back into my garden. And then inside this winter, we're building a indoor plant wall
Oh, yeah.
in the kitchen. And so it'll have herbs and things like that. My 5-year-old, she saved two potatoes from being slaughtered. And so now they have eyes on them. So we'll plant those too so she can have those. She's been into
Plant them
saving
now.
vegetables.
This week is the full moon week.
Oh, yeah.
And you can
Yeah, I
plant
do.
them in
Okay.
dirt in just one of your Amazon boxes. It
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
have to be
true. Yeah,
anything
that's true. Yeah, I
fancy.
have so many flower pots. Yeah, that's okay. I'll do that tonight with her. She would love that. Um, yeah, so that was a big tangent. Oh, I love it. Okay, well, it's been almost 40 minutes. yeah, what are our takeaways today? We have how the full moon energy affects you
Mm.
and paying attention to that and just any moon energies, planting your root vegetables right now if you want to, which we will be with our, I forgot, she named the potatoes as well. But we will plant those. And I will post that ritual or meditation too to howl at the moon,
Mhm.
which I'm gonna do with my daughter. And then yeah, watch your stones, listen to your stones and hold them
And
and
the trees
communicate.
and the
And the
bushes
trees,
and
yeah.
your, yeah.
Yeah, just take time. And if you're into moss, let me know. Uh,
And if you are going to like decorate your home with, and you do have a lot of stones, put your plants close to the where you when you enter, have some kind of plants close to where you enter, and then the plants will help you to handle all the stones. Now, I don't do that at my house because I'm never overwhelmed with all the stones.
yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so as
That's
soon as you
funny.
walk
Yeah.
into my place, there's lots of stones.
I love that. You know, talking about that, I instinctively that is where I just put my stones is around my plants anyway. So yeah, some of them are just surrounded with stones. Yeah, that's just where I store them anyway.
It's fun to sit and listen to them talking,
I need to do that.
communicating
I need
back
to
and
do
forth.
that. Yeah. Okay. I need to do that too then. That
In
would
your
be a good
case,
exercise.
they'll talk in a knowing way, so
Yeah.
don't question it at all. Just it'll
Mm,
be flashes of no, you just
yep.
know what they're saying. You just know it. Don't ask, you know,
Yeah.
don't if you
Don't read into it.
interject. No, no, yeah, if you do anything like that, it'll be gone. Whereas me, I'm more visual. I can say, I can make it go longer because I can make them paint a picture of what they're trying to say.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Mine are fast and fleeting. I gotta pay
Fast and
attention.
fast and fleeting, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna do that. I'm excited about that. Yay.
Yeah, they get
Awesome. All
along
right.
great.
Yeah, I am so excited about this. Yeah, because I didn't even realize how often I put my stones with my rocks. So I've already been partnering them up. Oh, awesome. All right. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us for another week of our podcast. And this has been awesome. I love talking with you, Casie. So thank you so much for doing this with me. And
Thank you.
excited for next week. Hopefully, everybody has an amazing week, or rest of the week anyway.
Bye.